That sentence was spoken in the Oval Office of the United States in early 2026 by the sitting President of the United States. He was explaining why he had chosen someone to lead the Federal Reserve, one of the most consequential economic positions on the planet. He was not describing a qualification. He was not citing a track record. He was not referencing a body of expertise. He was describing a mental image, a prototype, a resemblance, and he said it in plain English, without embarrassment, without hesitation, and without apparent awareness that he was describing a well-documented cognitive error. My name is John Bala. I am the Chief Content Creator for the Critical Thinking Literacy channel, and this is a new series called Power in the Mind. In our flagship series, Attack on Reason, we examine the logical fallacies, cognitive biases, and heuristics that shape and distort human judgment and decision-making. Power in the Mind takes those same tools and applies them where the stakes are highest, to political leadership and the psychology of power. This series is not partisan. It is analytical. Where the evidence points, we follow it. This episode focuses on a specific political figure. The reason is not political. The reason is methodological. No other figure has so openly articulated the representativeness heuristic as a governing philosophy, in their own words, in public, across two terms. Part 1, the phrase that says everything. Central casting is a Hollywood term. It refers to background actors, faces that fit a role by virtue of appearance, not audition. A central casting general looks like a general. A central casting judge looks like a judge. The prototype match is the job qualification. Donald Trump has used this phrase publicly and repeatedly to describe how he evaluates the people he places in the most consequential roles. On his inauguration day, Trump turned to Defense Secretary James Mattis and said, "This is central casting." He described Mike Pence as central casting, repeatedly. He described Rex Tillerson as having a central casting quality. Tillerson was his image of what the nation's top diplomat should look like. He described Supreme Court nominees Brett Kavanaugh and Neil Gorsuch as central casting. Then there is Kevin Warsh, whom he recently nominated to be the next Federal Reserve chairman. He was the central casting guy. Looks don't mean anything, but he's got the look. That final sentence is the conjunction fallacy stated in plain English. He acknowledges looks shouldn't matter, then treats them as decisive. That is the representativeness heuristic operating exactly as Tversky and Kahneman described it. The prototype match overrides the analytical conclusion. Here is how the selection process was reported to work at Mar-a-Lago in November 2024. Trump surrounded himself with television monitors. Each digital dossier included clips of the prospects' television appearances, so Trump could assess how effective they would be at conveying his message. The video helped him gauge whether each candidate fit his central casting vision of an authoritative and impressive cohort. Now read that phrase again. Not their qualifications, their central casting vision. This is the mechanism described by Trump's own sources. Chris Cillizza described it precisely. It's also about whether you fit the image of what Trump imagines someone in that job should look like. Part 3. The case studies. Mental prototype versus qualifications. Case Study 1. Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Defense. The prototype. Combat veteran, physically imposing, square-jawed warrior identity. The role. Overseeing the largest federal agency with a budget approaching $900 billion and operations in 80 countries. The gap. Hegseth had never commanded more than 200 personnel. He had never served in a senior government role or led a large organization. At his hearing, Senator Tammy Duckworth asked him to name one international security agreement. He could not name any. She asked him to name one nation that is a member of ASEAN. He could not name one. He was confirmed by a one-vote margin. Case Study 2. Robert F. Kennedy, Jr., Secretary of Health and Human Services. The prototype. Famous name, rebellious outsider, crusader reformer. The role. Overseeing the CDC, FDA, and NIH with a budget of nearly $2 trillion, affecting the health of every American. The gap. Kennedy is an environmental lawyer with no background in medicine or epidemiology. 77 Nobel Prize winners opposed his nomination. Case Study 3. Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. The prototype, military bearing, telegenic composure, composed national security figure. The role, overseeing all 18 intelligence agencies and advising the president on the most sensitive matters of national security. The gap, Gabbard had no direct experience in any intelligence position. Unlike every prior DNI, she held no senior intelligence role. Case Study 4, Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education. The prototype, confident, commanding executive, looks like a powerful administrator. The gap, her primary credential was as CEO of World Wrestling Entertainment. Her education background was approximately 1 year on a state board. Of course, not every selection followed this pattern. Scott Bessent and Marco Rubio bring genuine domain expertise to their roles. The argument is not that this always produces failure. The argument is that it is a cognitive error that substitutes resemblance for evidence. Under these conditions, success becomes a coincidence. Trump's demand for personal loyalty is extensively documented. He told James Comey, "I need loyalty. I expect loyalty." Jeff Sessions was the first senator to endorse him. He was forced out shortly after recusing himself. Anthony Scaramucci lasted 10 days. James Mattis, praised on day one, resigned later. John Kelly, the Central Casting General, later called him the most flawed person I have ever known. The first gate is the central casting filter. The second gate is the loyalty test. Neither is a competence gate. The result is a closed information system that filters out people who would otherwise bring the best information to the president. They would be the ones who say, "Mr. President, the data does not support that." But pushing back is seen as disloyalty, and disloyalty is disqualifying. The double-gated system is designed to reject reality unless it fits the script. Otherwise, reality itself is subordinated to the will of the producer, director, and star of the performance. So why does this matter to you? Everything. The heuristic operates in the mind of the citizen too. When a candidate looks like a president, we experience that match as evidence, as proof of qualification, regardless of the actual facts. A citizen who cannot recognize this heuristic in their own judgment is not an informed voter. They are reliable inventory that will be pressed into action during times when their availability is needed. We cannot eliminate this heuristic. It is baked into System 1 cognition, but we can manage it. Here's how. Ask before you act. Am I going with my feelings or the facts? Does this person resemble a leader, or are they actually qualified? See the first installment of the Representativeness Heuristic Trilogy, The Representativeness Heuristic: Why Your Brain Judges by Resemblance, Not Reality, to learn the basics of System 1 and System 2 cognition. It's not rocket science, but the results can profoundly benefit your life trajectory. In our next episode, we go deeper into Erich Fromm's critical theory on authoritarian leadership. Fromm's warning: the naive assumption that an evil man is easily recognizable results in a great danger. One fails to recognize them before they begin their work. The representativeness heuristic is why that warning is necessary, because the most dangerous leaders look exactly like what a leader is supposed to look like. We close with our gentle reminder that a healthy and flourishing democracy runs on good arguments. Obviously, we have some work to do in that regard. So, if these videos move the needle closer to the healthy and flourishing zone, please like and share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode. This channel has one mission and one mission only: to put the tools of clear thinking directly in your hands. No ideology, no agenda, no price tag. Until next time, I'm John Bala. Think critically and choose wisely.